Hello. I tried to live stream earlier. I guess this is not live streaming. I've never done it before. I'm brand new to all of this, so I'm brand new. So let's figure it out right now. It said I can live stream in a day, so we'll try that. In the meantime, let's just broadcast this video. Oh, my last video that I made yesterday, it's been uploading for over 24 hours, and it seems stuck. So I'll give that another, I don't know, 12 hours, 18 hours. And if it doesn't complete, then I will cancel that and resave the video into a smaller format. Anyway, let's get at it. Let's start with Tucker Carlson and Brian Johnson. Hear what they have to say today.
Of how effective food companies are at addicting us to their food.
There's no question.
How good drug companies are at making drugs, and how social media that we basically are in this dystopic capture.
It's totally true.
Of self-destruction.
It's 100% true. Of course. I mean, I'm not that much older than you are. We both grew up in a country that was nowhere near this self-destructive. I mean, you grew up in a Mormon community in Utah, not particularly self-destructive people, actually.
Right.
And I mean that as a high compliment.
Not what?
Community in Utah, not particularly self-destructive people, actually.
Right.
And I mean that as a high compliment. But the whole country was less self-destructive. Of course, we respond to our circumstances, our environment, and animals do too. You cage them, they kill each other. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But the impulse may be exacerbated in certain periods by the environment, but the impulse is constant through time.
Yeah. Okay, so let's ask this through another frame.
Here we go.
Here's a thought experiment for you. So if you had access to an algorithm that could give you the best physical, mental, and spiritual health of your life, but in exchange for that, you needed to follow the algorithm's suggestions. Go to bed on time when it said, go to bed when it said, eat what it said. Would you say yes or would you say no?
Well, of course I would say no. I'm not getting bossed around by a machine. Sorry. And I also don't think that any philosophy that doesn't include...
Would you follow an algorithm giving you health advice? Of course no. I'm not going to be bossed around by a machine. Tucker, come on. Did you miss the point? The point is, if a machine can give you information, would you follow some of it? Would you try it? I think that was the point. But he's all, of course not. I'm not going to be bossed around by a machine. I think Tucker's been bossed around a little bit in his life, and he's a little phobic, a little afraid of being bossed around. I wonder who's bossed him around. Maybe his mother? I don't know. Love Tucker. I love Tucker. Okay. I thought that was funny. And also, he kind of destroyed Brian Johnson there destroyed him with, of course I'm not going to follow your algorithm. Of course I'm not. Slam dunk. Okay. So what's next? Oh, Tucker, they were saying what I've been saying here for a month on this channel. Maybe what I said got up and went around the world, or maybe everyone's coming to it at the same time, which would be nice. We might have actual progress in this world going on. That it's ironic that we thought God was creating us, but us through our kids to come might be creating God. Yes, we might be creating God through our wonderful, evolved children to come. Let's remember what I've said. Evolution, what I've said, what many have said, I don't know. Anyway, evolution, I'm sorry, this is a live stream. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get Jordan. I'm getting Jordan in 100 days. Within 100 days, I want Jordan Peterson to say that God is the good that evolution is creating. God is the good that evolution is creating, and we are creating God through our good behavior and our good children. All right, let's see what else we have here. Oh, we have that one. Okay. Well, let's go to another window, tab, window, tab. No. Tab, no, window. No. Window. There we go. Here we go. Okay, this was pretty funny. Let's go.
Help, and I don't want the tax credits. Give me the money. Give me the money, okay? Don't tell me this bullshit about how I have to buy like some new fucking thing because the government's forcing me to do it. And then like, okay, don't tell me this bullshit about how I have to buy like some new fucking thing because the government's forcing me the money.
Give her
to
the
no
money.
help, and I don't want the tax credits. I won't get convenience with like little to no help, and I don't want the tax credits. I won't give me the money. Give me the money. Don't tell me this bullshit help, and I don't want the tax credits. I won't give me the money. Give me the money. Okay, help.
Okay, and then someone made a rap. She's saying that there's all these government programs that give money to huge corporations to build expensive and flawed things. I think she's talking about solar, or is it windmills, or is it some other? Is it a train to hell? Anyway, the government spends a lot of money, and she wants some of it, and I'll show you why here. I'll prove it to you. Okay, now here is her. Someone made a song out of this. Let's hear it.
Like, don't minimize the financial burdens associated with these things, okay? Because like I am literally freaking the out about the charging station thing. Like it's gonna cost. We're gonna take out a massive loan. Give me the money. Give me the money, okay? Give me the money. Give me the money. Endless pressure. Give me the money. Give me the money, okay? Give me the
Trump.
money. Give me the money. Give you off, okay?
No, you can't do that.
Give me the money.
Okay, the point is American people need the money, not huge corporations wasting money, wasting tax dollars. We are a bankrupt nation. Our dollar is going to explode. We don't know when. It's going to explode into zero worth, and we'll have to move on to another currency or barter or trade with gold and silver, because our politicians over the last, since 90s, we haven't had a balanced budget since the 90s, so it's been 30 years. Our politicians have accelerated the rate of spending so much. At some point, it's all going to explode. Cash will be worth nothing. The people with assets, stocks and bonds and gold and real estate will still have something, but everybody else will be poor the rest of their life. So that's what the politicians are doing to you. They're taking your money. And Anna gets it. Yes, Anna gets it. We don't want the government taking all of our money. Here's Jack Nicholson agreeing. Yes. Yes. The government's taking all of our money. Yes. Yes. Jack Nicholson. Love him. Okay. Now, what do we have here? Oh, Mr. Beast. Oh, yeah, we're going to get back and we're going to contact Mr. Beast. He dug a bunch of wells, and of course he got blamed by the politicians there for not asking approval. Shouldn't just help people. You need to pay off a lot of politicians. Pay a lot of them off before you give water to people. Anyway, okay. Let's go to the next window. Is it this one? Window. Oh, that might be it. Yes. And let's go to my text too. My writings. Okay. This is day 3 of getting the money out of Washington. I want to title this video, "A Lot of Money is Coming Your Way." Because if we can stop these pigs from spending all the money, they might focus on us, the middle class. We are the middle class. So we're going to pass a law stopping Washington from selling themselves. Don't you love this spelling and grammar? Pass a law stopping Washington from selling themselves. They're selling their office. Bureaucrats are selling their position. They take a job afterwards or take money while they're on the job as a consultant to a corporation. Okay. A quick note on my other videos about religion. I still think religion is the most important thing going on in humanity right now. because people are losing their religion and it's leaving a giant hole. So I talk about it being ironic. We just went over this, that we have been thinking God is creating us when in reality we are creating God in the God children to come, and in ourselves to some small degree as we improve our behavior and improve our thoughts. Good stories in Bible help. Good stories in the Bible. In the Bible. Oh, I love the spell checker. Love it. Help a lot. I haven't been using words my whole life, okay? I've been using muscle and sweat. Washington. Whether employee or politician, they sell their position. Don't you love that? I just made that up. We've got to say it 5 times. Whether employee or politician, they sell their position. Regarding Washington. Whether employee or politician, they sell their position. 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 They're selling themselves. It's got to stop. We have to take the money out of Washington. I want to do it in 100 days. This is day 3. All right, this can make us all a lot of money. The middle class could become twice as wealthy easily if these politicians just stop giving money back to corporations and the rich and the billionaires. The politicians do nothing for the middle class. Well, they might throw us a bone like every 100 bills, pretend to help us a little bit, but they notice the news never talks about economic issues, never talks about money either. The news never talks about money because they're owned by the corporations. I don't want communism. I don't want socialism. I just want the richest corporations and people to pay a little more taxes and make the middle class twice as wealthy. The middle class has been destroyed the last 50 years. I have the data. I have examples. In the last 60 years during my lifetime, half of the nation's wealth has shifted to dishonest thieves and away from the middle class. Example. Okay. Let's find the moving of the middle class. Here it is. How the American middle class, this is by Pew Research Center, has changed in the past decade. The middle class, past 5 decades, excuse me, the last 50 years. A lot of money has shifted. We're going to compare 1971 to 2021. How many people are super rich in 71 versus 2021? Not even super rich, just rich. Super rich would be much worse than this. If you look at the super rich, they are really making out well. A lot more of them have been created, the billionaires. We maybe had a few billionaires in the 71. Now we have what? 10,000 billionaires. So the billionaires are doing super, super well. The number of billionaires is increasing incredibly fast. Okay, just like the top 20%, which is a lot of people. The top 20% about, or is it 15%, have gone from 14 to 21. So almost doubled the number of rich people. But are they really that rich, most of them? Probably not, with everything costing a lot more. Now, the middle income from 1970s, 71 to 21, that's 50 years, folks. The number of people in the middle class has gone down because there's a lot more poor people. The middle class has shrunk to only 50%. And the poor has grown from 25 to 29%. So there's more poor people, and see, a lot of these middle class have shifted into the poor people. All right, let's look at the next thing we have here. Yeah, so the rich have gotten richer fast, but the middle class is not. Okay, comparing 1970 to 2020, upper income has increased from 130,000 a year to 219,000 a year, which is a 70% increase. Remember, this is a huge group of people. And so a lot of them aren't even that rich. So it depends on how you measure it. Like I said, the billionaires and the multi-millionaires have really, numbers have expanded and their wealth has gone through the roof. Middle income has shrunk. Lower income has increased. So we're getting poorer. Like I said, half the wealth the middle class used to have has gone up to the upper incomes, and especially the multimillionaires, billionaires, those with 10 houses. Okay, this chart really is a nice one. All right, what has the middle class done from 1970 to 2020? All right, do you see it? The middle income has gone from 62% to 42%. Middle income is reduced. Upper income has gone from 29 to 50. And lower incomes even got poorer. This is income tiers. The aggregate income held by the middle class has plunged since 1970. You can see the chart right here. The income of the middle class has plunged since 1970. I know people that in 1970 they bought a house for the house was like a 2,000 square foot house, like 4 bedrooms, small 4 bedrooms. It cost them like $20,000, and then an automobile cost them like $3,000. And the prices of a home and automobile have gone through the roof. Just are so expensive now. I wish it was just 10 times more expensive, houses and cars. It's more like 20 times more expensive houses and cars now. So these numbers can be a little misleading depending on how they decide to measure it. It's much worse than this. Okay. I think you get the point. Let's go back to the notes here. So there's my example about how during the last 60 years, 50 years, during my lifetime, half of the nation's wealth has been transferred to the super rich and away from the middle class, which is horrible. Maybe that's what Anna was talking about back here. Give me the money. She said, I'll give you. I'm not going to give you the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. I think we should give Anna a lot of money. Anna works hard. Everyone that works, that's up working, smart and long, deserves a fair wage. It won't kill the billionaires. And so all this money shifted upwards. Soon there'll be more museums than there are houses for the middle class. Have you noticed that? They're spending it on all sorts of corporations and museums, all sorts of things. It's never you. It never helps you in your life. And it was supposed to. In the last 50 years, the roads and schools are worse. They are not investing in us, the middle. They're not. They just don't care about us. I wonder why the politicians don't care about us and why they're bankrupting the nation and ready to explode. The whole country's going to explode when the dollar is worth zero. Look up Argentina. What happened to them? They had 1,000% inflation for decades. The poor became even poorer, and the rich became even richer. And their current president, Milei, is fixing it. Anyway, we need. Okay, so what they're doing with the endless printing of money, they're spending twice as much money as they collect in taxes. These politicians, they're purposely killing us with inflation. We all know prices have gone up the last few years. All the money they spent during COVID, etc. While they benefit from inflation because their assets are inflation-proof. The S&P 500, gold, etc. Their assets are inflation-proof. the inflation doesn't really hurt them much. If you have assets, it doesn't hurt you much. If you don't have assets, you are quickly going to become homeless. How long is it going to take for this to change? Does 2/3 of the country have to be homeless before Americans wake up and say, hey, politicians need to stop doing what they're doing, stop spending, and stop taking bribes and taking money and being blackmailed? Washington is so filthy. It's just unbelievable. So I believe if we stop the politicians from being slow motion and bribed, if we stop the politicians from their corruption, they'll start listening to the people. So we need to pass a law taking the money out of Washington. People should go there to serve, not to cash in. Unfortunately, we have politicians selling their office, and we have bureaucrats selling their office. We need to make them say it everywhere we can. Take the money out of Washington. Yes, Anna said it right. Give me the money. Give me the money. All right? Because children are being given poor educations and they're being malnourished because of the corruption of these politicians. Give the money to the people, not you millionaires, you effete elites. If you guys don't know what effete means, it's pretty good. Let's look it up. It's a good one. Effete. Affected and overly refined. He chatted away, exercising his rather effete charm. Effete trendies from art college. Affected, overly refined, ineffectual, not effective, artificial, studied, pretentious, precious, chichi, flowery, mannered. All right, it's worse than that too. It's not manly. It's not strong. The effete elites, the whole of Washington is corrupt. Give that a capital. The whole of Washington is corrupt, guys. It's time to face it. They're never going to help us. They're going to make 2/3 of us. They're going to make 2/3 of us homeless, if they can. They only care about getting rich. So we need to pass a law that they can no longer get rich in Washington. I've got 100 days to do this, so I'm working on it. Someone with some power and money needs to take this up. The system is corrupt. The whole of them, they have to take donations to survive getting reelected. If they don't take the donations from the corporations, they may not get reelected because they need the money. Half of them need the money. The other half are multimillionaires, and they don't need the money because they could spend their own money. But anyway, half of them need the money to get reelected. So the whole system is made to corrupt them. But if we can change the law, take the money out of politics, and I have 10 points. My last video, I have 10 points of how to do that. If you know who the donor is, if they know who the donor is, it's slow motion bribery. Yes, it is. Slow motion bribery. Everyone's bribed there. In Washington, it is bribe city and blackmail. It's a really fun place. Bureaucrats at the agencies take money during and after serving. Do you get that? You've got, 5 million federal employees? And a lot of them get a side job with the corporation they're regulating, making rules about. And then after, they're after, 20 years of service? 25 years of, quote, service? Yeah, service. Yeah, it's really service. Look at the balloons. Yay, balloons. Let's see if I can try it again. Balloons. Hey, service. Yeah, service. Where's my balloons? Okay. Let's get back to it. The donations the politicians receive, if they know who's giving them the money, it's slow motion bribery. Why would a corporation give millions? Come on, guys. Don't be a child. Okay. And it's not just the politicians taking money, you guys. It's 5 million government workers. Each of them could take a job or money from corporation during or after office, not office, but it's during position, during their job. Last video we went over Lloyd Austin, General Lloyd Austin, who took a job with Raytheon, the missile manufacturer, and then now he's back as the Secretary of Defense. Isn't that convenient? Isn't it convenient that he can make millions off his government job as a general? No, it's crooked. And both parties do it. Let's give another example. I did not go over this last time. Example, during service, Fauci took millions from the drug companies as royalties. Royalties, and he won't disclose it either. He admitted to Rand Paul in Congress that he is doing it. And he said, I don't have to tell you how much money I'm getting from these vaccines. Royalty. So he made money on every vaccine he sold as the head of the government's NIH, National Institutes of Health, and CDC. Well, the CDC is involved too. Fauci took millions from drug companies. Okay, this is not an anti-vaccine thing. I'm pro-vaccine. Most people should take the vaccines. But at the same time, there are some, but no one should be forced. That's a good point. No one should be forced to take the vaccines because we need to have rights over our own body. You can't have forced medical treatments. So again, most people should follow the government's advice on vaccines and such, but we should not be forced. Absolutely not. That's tyranny. That's when the government can tell you what medical treatment to get. We're living in a dystopian hell. And all those people that were fired should not have been fired. Anyway, there are some slight side effects from the vaccines and from Tylenol and ibuprofen. There are side effects, okay? They hid these. Fauci and the companies never talked about the side effects of the vaccines. We know some vaccines got shut down because they were causing myocarditis. One of the companies got shut down pretty early. Okay, Fauci and others were firing people and recommending to fire people not taking the vaccine. And he personally, I love correcting these spelling, he personally profited off his government actions as the head of the NIH. On top of making nearly $1 million a year, the guy is filthy. Filthy, dirty money. The whole of Washington, politicians and average government workers are taking money now or later, and that is influencing how they do their jobs. Do you get it? The government is all corrupted against us, the middle class. We need to pass a law. Make them say it. Pass a law taking the money out of Washington. And look at my 10 points for what needs to be in the law in one of my other videos. They don't get elected a congressman or senator to take care of us. They go there to get rich. Filthy rich. Where's my balloons? Balloons! How do you get balloons? Balloons. Maybe that only happens once. I have no idea how balloons came up there. I'll have to rewind it and find out. Whether government employee or politician, the system demands they sell their position. The system demands they sell their position. Well, unless they're a multimillionaire, then there's no excuse for their corruption. And, half of them are. And we can go over it. Should we go over that? Look at that real quick. Let's look at it. Let's look at the money of the politicians. Okay. So we looked at this last time. It was quick glance. Okay. Kevin Hearn is worth $361 million. Rick Scott, $259 million. Mark Warner, $219 million. $214 million. It just goes on, $189 million. Whoa, the first 50 people looks like the first 50 or 100 people have more than 10 million. Bastards. So, they're there to get richer. And the more money they have, the greedier they get. that's a weird thing about human nature is the more money you have, the greedier, hungrier you get for more money. Because say you're in a position where you have the 5th biggest yacht in the world. Well, that's not good enough because Jim over there has a better yacht. He has the 4th best yacht in the world worth $100 million. Well, I've got to make more money because I need a yacht better than Jim. After I see him at the party and I see the way his wife looks at me, like I have a smaller yacht. Okay, this is how sick these people are. The richer they are, the sicker they are. Whether employee or politician, they sell their position. Selling their position. Whether government employee or government politician, they sell their position. They screw us. The middle class is non-existent. We went over some of the stats already. You can look it up yourself. You know how to Google. Washington workers are selling their position to the highest bidders. They are selling their office and betraying you. Oh, the great senators. They're so important, aren't they? Such good people, moral people. Well, pardon me for offending you, Senator. How dare I ask you to stop profiting from your office? Jackasses. Well, a warm welcome, best and brightest. Like I said, we're on day 3 of getting the money out of Washington, D.C. in 100 days. We can do a little bit of summary here coming up in this video. Then I want to do some work. I want to send a message to Mr. Beast. Tell him to do this because he has 100 people working for him. He's a millionaire. Huge channel on YouTube. He built a bunch of wells, water wells in Africa. So this was a more worthy task to get the money out of Washington. Why do we need to get the money out of Washington? Why? Because two-thirds of us are going to be homeless very soon. They don't care about you. They only care about getting rich, filthy rich. Filthy. I have some more examples. We'll go over that. While most in Congress have become millionaires, we the people are poorer and poorer. Well, the average American only makes $59,000 a year, which is barely enough to. The average American has barely enough to survive, has no savings. Also, all politicians take money from foreign-aligned groups. You bet. Groups affiliated with Russia and China, our enemies. Yes, we went over. I love Apple, but Apple, of course, their iPhones are made in China. A lot of companies, the social media companies have business in China. Google. Most of our industries have business in China, so they're corrupted with that. And these are the people paying off our politicians. Okay, let's look at that. Let's look at some of that. What do we have here? Okay, we have, from Open Secrets, we have which industries are giving the most money to PACs, parties, and candidates. Industries. How much money is being passed around here? In slow motion bribery. The retirement industry is giving the most at almost $600 million. Wow. Is that just Washington? Jeez, Washington. Let's see. Yeah. Elections overview, isn't it fascinating? The securities and investment, I assume that's banks, are giving $531 million to politicians. The real estate industry is giving $137 million. Leadership PACs as a way to give more money than you should legally. A loophole there. The PAC is a loophole for more money to be funneled to politicians. Lawyers, $97 million. Oil and gas, $80 million. Miscellaneous, $70 million. Health professionals, $62 million. It just goes on and on. a list of what, 30 people here? 30? And whatever it is. So, as you can see, Washington has been bribed. Influence money is bribery in slow motion. Anna is right. Jack Nicholson is right. We need the money. The middle class needs the money, not the top 10%. You guys, the dollar is going to collapse to nothing. 2/3 of us are going to be homeless. It could happen. It could happen this year. Or it could happen in 5 years, but it's going to happen. They're only increasing the rate of their spending in nonsense. So, okay, we already. Last time we talked about Speaker Pelosi tripling her income while in Congress, tripling her assets while in Congress, her wealth. We talked about General Lloyd Austin getting a job and then going back into government service after he takes millions from Raytheon, the missile builder. We talked about the Obama book deal. How much was that? Was that $65 million? Well, okay, this is the law. Again, let's go over this quickly. I'll go over this super quick, and this is probably going to be it. And we need a law taking the money out of Washington. No profiting from your service ever. Any monies or benefits received should be given back. No jobs relating to your service. No benefits related to your service, not even a ham sandwich. Donations for campaigns must be blind. If you know who's giving you money, you're being bribed in slow motion. Donations to campaigns must be blind. Politicians cannot know who or what industry is donating to them. No lobbyists. Lobbyists are crooks. They're just buying off politicians with bigger handfuls of collected monies. Politicians must spend equal time listening to each constituent, not donors. Again, if the donors are blind, then, they can spend equal time with everyone in their district, not just the billionaires giving them money. Again, pass a law that politicians cannot know the identity of the donors. There must be a penalty for this, a minimum of 10 years in prison, and then no stock trading in office. You must leave with the exact same wealth or less than you entered with. In all aspects of money, give it to charity in excess. Give the excess to charity. If you make money while you happen to make money, your investments while you're in Congress, give that money you made back to charity. Give it to charity. So you need to leave office no richer than you entered. Okay? So these are many good ways to stop the money in Washington, the corruption. All right, this is the beginning. Other points of refinement will come up. Let's get into the work. I'm going to ask to meet my congresswoman. Okay, this is what I want to do right now on Twitter. I want to contact Mr. Beast and Elon Musk and others. So I'm going to start doing that, and then we'll end our stream. We'll end our fun here. Okay. Oops. What is the window? I'm going to go to Twitter. That's right. Window. Ah, that works. Window. Mr. Beast. Okay, let's send a message to Mr. Beast. Where's Mr. Beast? Oh, is this Mr. Beast? Okay, how do I find him? Let's go back. Where'd he go? Oh, here's Mr. Beast. Mr. Beasties. All right, how do I send him a message? Can I send him a message? Never done this before, but I need to. Oh, and Elon Musk. Only 29 comments. Oh, it's a parody of Elon Musk. Okay, don't want to respond to a parody. That means it's a joke. Comedian, yeah, real funny. Funny stuff. Okay, I have a frozen screen now. I don't know. See if it lets me. Oh, and Mr. Beast. Hi. Mr. Beast, take the money out of Washington. Let's make it loud. Take the money out of Washington. Stop the corruption. Let's send it. Got it. Okay. Now, can we send a direct message? Does anyone know how to do that? To Mr. Beast. Here he is, at Mr. Beast. Let's subscribe. No, I'm not going to give him more money. Okay. I need to make this window bigger so I can see it. Okay. Let's slide over here. All right, let's go back. Oh, I don't want to subscribe. That pays the money. But I do want to follow, right? Is that how Twitter works? I do have a check mark. Yes, I do have a check mark. Replies. His replies, his posts. Okay, how do we send him a message? Right here? Is this it? Write a message. Search people. Is it at Mr. Beast? Hey, that works. Okay, send it. Okay, let's type it out. Okay. Mr. Beast. Beast. Why can't I send to him? Why can't I send? Enter. Send. Of course I could send to the joke one. Gosh, that's upsetting. It's really making me angry. I'm gonna melt down right here. Okay, guys, let's try it right. Let's try sending it to someone else. Okay, Elon. Oh man, I need help. Blocked out again. Why can't I send a message to Elon? All right, what about a congressman? Laura Lee. Laura Lee. Laura Lee. Laura Lay. Laura Lee. Laura Lee. Congressman Laura Lee. Where is she? Laura Lee. Can't be messaged. She's a congressman, no? Okay. Well, I'll figure this out. I promise. And I'm getting tired, so I'm going to take a break and work on it later. Yes, yes. Let's end with something funny here. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. You ready for it? Okay. Give me the money. See, Anna's got it. The money needs to go to the middle class, goes to her, not billionaires.
Thing. Like, it's going to cost. We're going to take out a massive loan. Give me the money. Give me the money, okay? Give me the money. Give me the money. Endless pressure. Give me the money. Give me the money, okay? Give me the money. Give me the money. Give you off, okay?
No, you can't do that.
Give me the money.
Give me the money.
Give me the money, okay? Give you